Testing, testing, testing. Okay, are we live? Okay, one, two, three. Let us begin. The man in the black mask, he's here to talk about how Mike Tyson confessed to smoking weed before the Roy Jones Jr. matchup. And this is kind of funny. This is very interesting to me, but I'm going to get right into this. But I'll tell you this. I never heard of nobody doing weed before boxing, but I've heard of people taking steroids and shit, right? Steroids before, football, basketball, whatever, but weed, not that I can recall up until now. I got to be frank with you about this. Okay, so let me read this article again. Mike Tyson says he smoked marijuana before a fight with Roy Jones Jr. It's just who I am. Okay, I believe you. All right. Mike Tyson said he smoked marijuana right before he fought Roy Jones Jr. Saturday night in his celebrated return to the boxing match at the age of 54. Two middle-aged cats boxing in the ring when they should all be retired. And now Evander Holyfield, he's trying to follow suit. Fucking Tyson, meanwhile, bit his ears back in '97. I'll never forget. You know? And I did see one of Mike Tyson's fight years back when he tried to break this dude's arm. I mean, I'll never forget. I was watching with my mom and my half-brother at the time, Like, absolutely yes. He said during his post-fight press conference, Tyson and Jones fought to a draw in an 8-round exhibition match at the Staples Center, as scored by 3 former WBC champions. Now, this is even funnier to me, that this match ended in a cliffhanger. And those of you not familiar with a cliffhanger is a stalemate, a drawn contest, okay? And I don't mean Sylvester Stallone, but I do mean a no contest, okay? Simply put, no contest. Very funny, eh? After the bout, Tyson indicated that he smoked another joint, apparently before he met with the media to discuss his his first fight in 15 years. Because, he couldn't beat the Irishman. You know what I'm saying? This guy was played by Mark Wahlberg in A Fighter. You know what I'm saying? I don't remember his name, but I did see the match that night in 2005, June or July or some shit, somewhere around there. Listen, I can't stop smoking. I smoke during fights. I just have to smoke. I'm sorry. I'm a smoker. I smoke every day. I never stopped smoking. Oh, shit. Leadership. Oh, man. Look at this guy, man. Oh, shit. Fighting in an exhibition rather than a professional fight apparently gave Tyson some wiggle room. The Voluntary Anti-Doping Association tested the fighters for performance-enhancing drugs prior to the bout, but marijuana reportedly was not on the list of banned substances. Well, that needs to change anyhow, because we're all aware of steroids, and everybody knows that Hulk Hogan used steroids as a wrestler, and a lot of others too, including Chris Benoit, God rest his soul. I said I hated what that guy did. A lot of people blame steroids for why Benoit did what he did to his own family. Anyway, back to Tyson. Tyson said he stopped using cocaine about 2.5 years. But that turns out not to be the case for marijuana, even inside of the ring. I knew Mike Tyson was a junkie because he struggled with his inner demons and he often resorted to drugs to cope with those demons. Just like some of you around here who could relate to having to turn to drugs and alcohol because there's always something inside that's just struggling the shit out of you. The one thing that's probably keeping you from killing yourself, is the drugs. You want to use drugs and alcohol just so that you don't go crazy. Okay, and I understand what trauma can do to you, but let me tell you something. Let the man in a black mask tell you something. Drugs and alcohol ain't the answer. If you're struggling with addiction, or if you're having suicidal feelings or thoughts or actions, please seek help, contact the hotline, or have someone else do it on your behalf. And Mike Tyson says, it's just who I am. He said, it has no effect on me from a negative standpoint. It's just what I do and how I am and how I'm going to die. There's no explanation. There's no beginning. There's no end. Okay, whatever you say. And someone asked him, did the marijuana help numb the pain Saturday night? Apparently not, because obviously he didn't win his first match. Instead, he won a cliffhanger. No, it just numbs me, he said. It doesn't numb the pain. Never. Drugs and alcohol don't numb nothing, because you still feel something inside at the end of the day. The pain is still there. So you using it's just a waste of brain matter to me. You're just killing your brain cells for nothing. The bout proved entertaining, with Tyson looking fit and powerful, and landing hard punches to Jones' body. For his part, Jones flashed some of his old showmanship, but also kept Tyson tied up for the match for much of the fight as a means of survival. Yeah, no shit. Although Tyson said he didn't know how much money the fight generated, but he assured his winnings won't be spent the way they were in the past. Because, yeah, he blew a lot of it through drugs and everything else. Even women. I mean, who hasn't been there? Hell, even Easy-E blew his money through women. But he never did drugs or nothing, but he had a lot of women. You know, so Mike Tyson, squandered much of the $685 million that Forbes reported Tyson earned during his early career. Because think about it, had it not been for the drugs and everything in between, that legal shit, he probably would be a billionaire, just like Tyler Perry and Oprah Winfrey. You know what I'm saying? I began to question whether Donald Trump is a true billionaire because he did a lot of illegal shit to get that money. Anyway, Mike Tyson says, "I'm here for a purpose," he said. "I'm not here for my ego. My ego is taking the money. Buying some planes, some nice houses, packing up a bunch of chicks, and having some orgies and stuff." Oh, shit. This is not who that is right now. The guy was just somebody that had to be, eventually, he was a platform to become me. Wow. What Tyson cares about now, he said, are his family, his pigeons, his clothes, and yes, his joints. Okay, whatever you say, Cheech and Chong, or Method Man and Redman, they must be easy to come by considering in 2017 the former heavyweight champion founded Tyson Ranch, a cannabis company. Yeah, he loved weed. But I gotta admit though, I fucked with weed a few times, but not as much as I wanted to go. But I did weed before. But one thing I never did was drink heavily. Because trust me, I got a lot of alkies and junkies in my family. Okay? Well, even though I did weed in the past, but I never developed an addiction to it or nothing. I just did it on occasion. Whenever I was in an outing with my cousins or whatever, I would sometimes fuck with weed. But I wouldn't do nothing else after that. Mike Tyson says he cares deeply about something else too. Charity. Although Tyson has offered few specifics, he said he's focused on helping people less fortunate than himself. So this makes Tyson a humanitarian. And trust me, a lot of athletes are humanitarians, including Magic Johnson. He did a lot for the community after he tested positive for HIV. Mike Tyson said, in a perfect world, I'm a missionary. He said, in a perfect world. In the real world, Tyson says he plans on boxing again, perhaps against Jones in a rematch. Yeah, because the first one was a no contest. Some of you have seen the match last night, but sadly I missed it. He has also expressed interest in fighting against top heavyweights like Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, and Deontay Wilder. But there are other options. Maybe we do something in the south of France, he said. Monaco and Saint-Tropez. We do something out there. One of the European fighters out there or something. Anything is possible. Sky's the limit. You're right, Mike Tyson. The sky's the limit. But the thing is, will he ever not smoke weed before stepping in the ring? I sure hope he's not cheating. I mean, trust me, even I wouldn't do weed before I step into the ring. Because What if they test me and I test positive? Then what? That's like if you were to take weed before a matchup, you'll be done took steroids before you know it. You understand? Don't do drugs before you get in the ring. Wait till after. You know what I'm saying? Don't cheat or nothing. You don't gotta cheat. You just give it all you can. You know? And sometimes I wish there was no such thing as doping up. I just wish players would stop doping up so much because that's what be getting a lot of them in trouble. They rather dope. They rather cheat before they compete in a sports championship, you know? Don't use before you compete. At least use after you compete. Because one day they're gonna drop you and pretty soon you'll be out of money. They'll be on suspended you, they might even expel you. Okay? Don't do drugs, Mike Tyson. You're better than that. I mean, you haven't passed so the week, but drugs ain't the answer. So think about your next matchup and be very careful. Okay? Please don't let your guard down, Mike. The fans are counting on you, Mike Tyson. And that does it for the man in the black mask. Don't be afraid to hit like and subscribe, and there'll be plenty more to come. Thank you.